Okay, welcome to the team call for Wednesday, February 22nd. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. So tonight I wanted to talk about, a lot of people are always asking me, like, how do I run, or how do I share this opportunity more? How do I share with people what this has done for me? And I think sometimes we get scared in terms of not thinking you don't have a story yet and you don't have shiny objects to share. And so I really want to make sure that I share with you guys today, you don't need to have all the shiny things to run these events. So I'm going to give you guys an awesome outline and give you all my tips and pieces of advice that have worked for me. And it's always trial and error. I have done probably, 20, we used to call them open houses. And that's another thing. You can call them an open house, a sneak peek, what is coaching, behind the scenes. You can get fancy with it. You can call it whatever you want. And it's always going to be a work in progress. Some people do 1-day events. Some people do 3-day events. I'm doing a 5-day event right now just because I personally feel like I want to space it out. And then the next time I might try a 3-day event. Another option is you can always do a Facebook Live video. And then in the last resort, if you like to make presentations like me, because I geek out on that stuff, you can always do a webinar. So I've tried them all, and some of them have flopped. I just want you guys to know that doing those kind of things is so important in your business, because basically the reason that people don't decide to become coaches is because they're afraid of, like, it's all the unknown, right? They're afraid to make the investment. They're afraid of social media. They're afraid of judgment. And so the more you get used to running these What is Coaching events, in whatever fashion you do them, the more you have the opportunity to invite people to at least learn about it. So, we should be inviting every single day as it is. You're not always going to have 3 people to invite to say, hey, have you ever considered being a coach on my team? But you always can invite someone to, hey, on March 1st, or whenever you're going to do it, I'm going to be hosting a What is Coaching event, and I really think you'd be a great coach, because you can do that every single day. But if we don't have the events to invite to, then your invites to join your team are going to be a lot more difficult. So I learned that along the way, that having these events or having a video to give them to watch and follow up with is so much easier than just saying, hey, have you ever considered becoming a coach, and then not having something to show them? Because they'll probably say no. Well, I could never do that. I remember when Liz asked me, I was like, I live in a mountain town and we have a small gym here. Like, no, that would never work. But I had no idea what coaching actually was. And imagine if someone had broke it down like we are right now in our What is Coaching event. And by the way, if you guys aren't in the What is Coaching event and you want to learn how to run them, you guys have to come to the event. So it's best for you to learn firsthand. It's an event that you can find on my like page. So if you just go to my Colleen Curtis page, you can click going. I'm going to show you guys today what I'm doing anyway and what I think works, but it's good for you to be in them so that you can kind of make them your own. Okay, so that was kind of a little background about the team call, but let's kick this off with some recognition. Does anyone have any recognition that they would like to do for this week? No. You guys can hear me, right?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I almost missed it. I had to run. Krista's at Success Club 20 something, and I just want to shout her out because she is totally leading our team from the front right now. And I could cry. I'm so proud of her. She's come so far. So I just wanted to give her special recognition for kicking major ass.
Seriously, congrats. And it's a crazy time, I know, for you and your family, and we're thinking of you guys, and you're totally responding to the universe and all the love you have to share. So I'm proud of you, girl. Good shout out. Now I feel like a bad coach. I haven't looked at anyone on my teams yet. I was snowshoeing with my mother-in-law today. Anyone else for recognition or rank advancements this week? Okay. If I cut you off, let me know. We can go back to it later. So let's talk about the Diamond Dash real quick. Hot mess. Like yesterday, I wanted to punch things and people. So I typically don't join the Drop the Cookie trainings and events. I don't know. I just kind of do my business a little different. And I love them all as friends, but it's always been really difficult to do groups with them. And everyone pulled out last minute. Like Liz has a 2-year-old baby, a 2-day-old baby. And I had to message her like, hey, everyone's dropping out. So I had 2 options yesterday. Tell us like, hey, this whole diamond push we're doing is completely called off and there's no push, and I'd have to wait to plan another one. Or Keith invited us to join his. So that's why the spot's maxed out. But as all of you saw, that they reopened another pot. So really, I mean, I was talking to one of my coaches today and she's like, I don't even care about the money. I just want the content. I want the opportunity. I want to learn from these coaches. So if you guys have any questions about what's going on, it's kind of been crazy and confusing and I apologize, but such is life, right? It's business. You just kind of have to go with the flow. But we all have the opportunity to be in this push. Anyone can apply, and there's another pot for another 250 people. So if only 100 people go in the second pot, the second pot will be $2,000, which is still awesome. But you know, the more people that sign up and the more people that do this, the better. And so I know that we could definitely, because there were so many people that were like, what the heck, I got cut off. And I like almost lost sleep over it last night because it was so out of my hands. And so just know that it was so crazy and, you know, things like that happen. But I'm happy that we can all get in there. If you have any questions, though, let me know. And you have to be applied. I believe March 5th is the cutoff date. Okay? And actually, do you guys have any questions now about that? Is that
so it's cool. It's cool. I can be in it. Diamond already, just get the content. I just pay.
Yeah, so there's actually an incentive. You can actually get a piece of the pot. So if you go back and look at that post, it says Diamond and Star Diamond. There's qualifications for you guys. So I don't remember, but it's like add 4 coaches, create another diamond that isn't a husband, a spouse, a sister, a cousin. Like it's actually like you helping another coach hit diamond. So there is opportunity for you guys to also split the pot. So
thank you. I missed that.
Good questions. Star Diamond Plus, I guess we can call it. So cool. I'm glad you asked that. Sorry, I'm like kind of distracted right now because I feel like I can't see anything. I don't have a light. But I am going to share my screen with you guys. And so I did a team call on this summer, and I don't know if it just didn't click with everyone that this is about doing the What is Coaching events. Again, whatever you want to call them. Let's just call them sneak peeks so I can just call it that short. So doing the sneak peeks into coaching, I shared this formula that a top coach shared because she was crushing it. Like all of a sudden out of nowhere, this name Angie Bellamar came in and we were like, who's this girl? And so she was running a lot of awesome free groups and a lot of awesome What is Coaching events. Now, I'm not telling you guys that you have to run free groups, and I'm not telling you that you have to do What is Coaching events. I've failed forward in many of these things. Free groups I suck at. So what I've done is I try to combine my free group with my value into my challenge groups. For example, the Winter Boot Camp series and the engagement and the prizes and all the fun things. I've tried to combine those two, and it's working for me. But you'll have to kind of try a million things. A one-day event might work for you. A free group might crush it for you. So don't be discouraged if you're like, well, I did what Colleen said or I did what Angie advised and it didn't work. That's kind of just how this works. That's why we have to try so many things. And people get frustrated. They're like, but I've tried this and I've tried that. And just know that's totally normal. But I'm going to share my screen. I thought I hit share, but I didn't. And pull this up. Okay, so can everyone see? Okay, so I believe this is in our resources. If not, shame on me. I should have added to them, but I can share this with you guys. This isn't the exact outline you have to use. It can be used for clean eating groups and sneak peeks. You can kind of play with it, but this is what Angie did, and she was in the top 10 this past year. And she really is about building the relationships. Now, the mistake I have made, I'll share with you guys, is I run these groups and then I'm like, oh man, no one signed up or no one asked questions. You have to build the relationship. You have to do the legwork. So let's say I added 5 people to my sneak peek. Check in with them on day 2. Check in with them on day 4 and 5. And just say like, hey, how's it going? Like 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you, oh, I haven't even watched the videos. So out of all the live videos that I've done, well, I've only done 2, because we're on day 2, it shows me that not everyone has seen it yet. I get it. And that's what's great about the group. People can go back to it, but you have to do the following up with them. You have to say like, hey, what did you think? You know, do you have any questions about a day in the life of a coach, or, you know, from any of the questions that you saw, were all your questions answered? And just ask them, like, how are you feeling about the thought about becoming a coach? And that is my biggest thing that I missed, is I used to run these and then I would never follow up and build the relationship with people around the information they got. Because even though it makes sense to us, they're still kind of piecing it together in their head. So I did a live video on day 1, but before I did, so in the morning, I made a post. And if you guys are in the group, you can see it. And it says day 1. And I said, coach stories and what to expect from this group. So that was the first thing that went up. And then I said, I will be going live in about an hour to tell my story. And then I dive into that topic. So I suggest a little image. I use, you know, word swag to kind of set their mind on, okay, we're on day 1. Here's today. Did the live video. And then in day 1, you want to also share coach success stories. I don't suggest doing too many. So I did mine, Craig's, and Janelle's for this one. And I'm also going to use Mia's story later on this week. But for day 1, we don't want to like word vomit too much on them. And Janelle and Craig were generous enough to make us videos under 5 minutes. And what you want to answer is, what has coaching done for you? And how has Beachbody products and programs changed your life? So we don't want it to be, oh, I retired my husband and I made $500 my first month. If you did, awesome. But for the coaches who don't have the shiny thing that we all think we have to share, it's what has Beachbody done for you and how has it changed your life? Because most people, guys, if I was like, oh, I made $500 in my first month, they're going to be like, oh, well, I probably can't do that. They're not believing in themselves yet. So take your story and run with it. If you're not a fan of your story, start changing your story. You know, you can show physical results, talk about mental results, your relationship maybe with your loved ones, anything. So you should have, I mean, I hope 5 to 10 things that coaching has helped you with to change your life. So that can be a part of your story. I think I know my video was under 10 minutes, at least I hope it was yesterday. Anything over that, they'll kind of lose a little bit of focus because we do have 5 days. If you're going to do 3 days, your videos can probably be longer. And then I also told them what to expect from the group. So I said, this is an open forum. It's actually best if you engage. I suggest you engage. That way I know you guys are getting the material and what I'm sharing with you. I also asked them on day 1 where they're from, to kind of give it some motion happening. I say, tell us where you're from. And, you know, I could ask them something else. Like, do you have any kids? Do you have any family? You know, I don't know. There's a million things you could ask them. But just get them involved. And day 1, just to kind of wrap up what day 1 is about, is your chance to show your personality. Whether you do a live video or a recorded video, I suggest live, guys. It's time. If you're going to invite people to join your team, it's time to just step out of your comfort zone and to make that live video. You know, the first thing I put on that recent checklist that I gave you guys was, you know, for 2017, if you want to step up, you have to be making live videos throughout the week. That's just really how this business goes. And what better time to do it than now? When live video first came out, I throw all my notes away. Oh no, actually here's the one I just did. So in the day 2 video, I made my bullet points of what I wanted to say. And as I'm talking, I just look down and I kind of regroup. So that way I'm not just going through my mind on a tangent. So for my story, I wrote down my things here. Okay? So those are my tips for day 1. If you guys have any questions too, you're more than welcome to write in the chat box. Okay, so day 2, overcoming objections. So you don't just come out and say, okay, today I'm going to talk about the objections that people have. Like, this is for us, like behind the scenes. So for day 2, in my head, I think about, what does someone have as far as objections? What are their concerns? What were they skeptical about? And I relate to them. And so if you guys haven't read GoPro, this is the I feel, I felt, I found game. So I broke it down. I said, you know what, when I first started this, I was feeling like I didn't have the right mindset. I knew I had to change my mindset from being the employee who clocked in for 40 hours, and I knew I had to learn how to become an entrepreneur. So to me, that feeling was a little scary in the beginning. I was scared. And then I want you to think back to, how did you feel? Write it out in bullet points of how you felt. What was your personal objection? What was holding you back? And then I told them, what I felt worked for me so I was providing a solution. And then the last one is, I found that the more I became consistent and I showed up every day, I became that student of personal growth, and I did the vital behaviors that my coach told me to do from the trainings. So we're telling them, like, I've been there. I know how you feel, what I felt, what I found worked. If, these are just examples. If you were skeptical, I even brought up the whole, if you feel like your friends are going to judge you, if your family is going to judge you, I understand all that. And I ask them to claim what they want. And I say, I'm really wishing and hoping that you will take this opportunity to change your life. If we don't change anything, nothing will change. I don't want to go through the whole video of what I said, because you guys can go watch it. I literally just did it an hour ago. But just align with them. Put yourself in their shoes back from when you signed up and think, what were your concerns? How were they addressed? And hopefully you guys will embellish the team and the resources in the trainings. And I know you guys are just desensitized to what's available to you, but not every team has what we have. We've all worked together so hard to create what we have for you guys. And so when a coach joins the team, they get the same information. So it's not so much that you have to know it all or that you have to train them. It's you have to get them excited and believe in themselves. Remind them, hey, I've been in your shoes before. Guys, if you signed up 2 months ago, you can say, you know what? I was in your shoes 2 months ago. This is how I felt. And now I'm learning X, Y, Z. So you can really stretch day 2. I didn't finish saying what I labeled it as. I labeled day 2 as how I got started and what it was like for me as a new coach. I talked about the challenge pack, what I bought, and I tell them why they need to buy a challenge pack. Because if someone wants to coach and they half-ass what they need, they're not going to have success with coaching. So I explained to them the price. You can get a challenge pack from $140 up to $199. I explained the benefits of the All Access Challenge Pack. And I hope you guys are taking notes on this, because if you're just listening, this is not going to help. You got to write this stuff down. So I tell them about the All Access Challenge Pack and why it's awesome. And I'm thinking in my head, what's their objection? For me, I brought up my story of how I spent $205 on a T25 challenge pack, and I got 1 program and DVDs. I talk up on demand because Beachbody is going digital. I tell them that they can use their iPhone, their tablet, they can download the workouts to their phone. I personally don't recommend the standard challenge pack for anyone unless they're absolutely strapped for cash, because I know what that's like. But I tell them, if they're looking to build the business and to, be with the times, on demand is really the way to go. Explain the total solution of why they need a challenge pack. You need fitness, you need support, you'll be in my challenge groups, nutrition. So that overcomes the objection of, well, how much is it to sign up? Or how much do I have to invest? And then to wrap up day 2, I told them I was broke when I signed up. I really didn't have the $205, and I put it on my credit card, and here's why. Here's why I bit the bullet and did it. I think back to the old me. I did it because once I did it, I had to make up $205 to pay off my credit card. So I dove into coaching. I helped a few friends. I shared my journey. I didn't sell. I shared my journey, and I was able to earn back my investment. That's the key. We're not asking you to sell 1,000 Shakeologies. We really want you to help 2 to 3 people with a challenge pack, just like you, to get results, to feel awesome. And that gets them more excited about this. Doesn't that sound a lot better than like, okay, hit Success Club, help 3 people, you earn X dollars. I lead with the emotional side of, if you make the investment in yourself and show up and you pay this forward and share your journey, you will cover the cost of your products and get the cost of your investment back. Right? Makes sense. So that's day 2. So day 3, 4, and 5, I haven't done an open house for a while because I really love doing the live videos more, but I went back to trying this again. It's always good to kind of try new things. So I haven't yet experienced what I'm digging right now. So here's where I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to show them an example of, sorry, my dogs are barking. I'm going to show them an example of a new coach checklist. And I'm not going to just take the one from our training because half the things they'll be like, what's PD? Or, they're not going to know what all that is. So I'm going to make one that will make sense to them. I'm also going to explain to them how they will need to kind of set aside some time. And I'm going to talk about a power hour. But I'm really going to talk about the joy in this business. I don't want them to just look at a checklist and be like, ugh, because that's not going to bring joy to them. That's not going to make them excited. I'm going to talk to them real life. What's my purpose? What is my mission every single day when I wake up? And I have to, and for me, it's kind of hard because it's so different for me now. And I'll explain that to them. But if you're a newer coach, like real life, what do you do? Do you wake up at 5:30 in the morning and you're a busy mom taking care of your kids, and then you go press play while they take their nap at 7 a.m.? I have no idea when babies nap, but whatever it is you do, like break it down for them. Real life, don't chalk it up to being the best, coolest, easiest thing ever and everyone should do it. They need to see this and how it's going to fit into their life. It needs to be relatable to them. If you guys work full time, you have to break that down for them. So this one's going to look a little bit different for you guys, especially if you work full time still, but break it down. I am human.
Can I ask a question on day 3?
Absolutely.
So, how would you feel if I was to talk about what I did then as a new coach as like my day compared to now? Or do you think I should just stick with now?
I mean, definitely then. You absolutely want to do that. And then you can say, as your business grows, maybe kind of spend a little bit of time on that. I wouldn't like show them all the things that you do now because that's going to be like way overwhelming to them. But you could kind of, I guess, set the tone for as your team grows and as you start to change more lives, your business becomes more in depth. So I think you could give them a glimpse into that, but we don't want to overwhelm them too much. But I think maybe the aspect of transferring the belief of, like when you do have a team, this is the beauty in what you'll be doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to work into like I did this when I worked full time. So basically I said I had 2 full-time jobs because I did. And then now I am full time. And a lot of people ask me what I do now being full time. So I was just trying to figure out how to.
Yeah.
My wheels are just spinning.
No, yeah, I think that's a really good question, especially if they ask that. But since we lead the conversation, right? Like they have to get through the first year of their business. They have to even like first sign up. So you can totally tell them, but just be careful how you word it, because otherwise they're like, oh, well, like I can't do that, So you can say like, until I was able to, make sure you guys always use the income disclaimer. Always. Until I was able to replace my full-time income, or until I made the decision, you don't have to replace an income, until I made the decision to make this transition into full-time coaching, my schedule started to change and I was able to manage my time differently. And then you can tell them what you do now. But just remember, guys, that you have to put it into words and terms as an outsider will understand it. If I know, Candace, I know you wouldn't do this, but if someone was like, oh, I do the power of 3, they'd be like, well, what the F is the power of 3, right? So you have to kind of break it down to an outsider, and also remind them or remind yourself that you have to make sure that you're instilling the belief that they can do this, because they're going to be like, well, I don't know how to do that. Or what if I don't commit to my workout? That's why day 2 is really important, of addressing those things. And I'm definitely going to be talking about, like, the big thing for me is going to be habits, time management, goal setting. I'm going to tell them, like, if you come to me and you say you want to make $500 a week, like, you're going to have to work 5 to 10 hours a week. You're going to have to make some time. TV might not be a priority for you anymore. You might have to delegate some things to your family to have them help you out a little bit. I am human is like the best thing on this slide, I think, because you have to make this believable for people that, like, it's not easy and they're going to have to fit it in. Like, we can't just add 3 hours to our day. We don't get 27 hours in the day. So how are you doing it? And that's a great question, Candace, of how you did make the transition. And but you had to work your butt off at the beginning, right? And then you can do this too. I was already saying that, transferring the belief. Was there another question in here? I think figuring out in the beginning when you were still working would be key. Yes.
I'm glad Candace asked this, because I'm like in the middle of a sneak peek right now with my girl JJ, and we've been doing like a day in the life of like a coach, what we do. And, you know, I just like share the vital behaviors, but then I'm like, well, there's like more to it. But I like how you say as your business grows, because it's like, you don't want to overwhelm them, and you're like, and we do this and this and this. And then they're like, I can't do this. So that phrasing is like, that was awesome for me. So thanks for asking that, Candace.
And I think, so I know my leaders have seen this, and I can show it to you guys again. It's the 3 layers of leadership. So you can simply tell them, as your business goes, your schedule will change. The basics always remain the same. We have what's called the vital behaviors. You don't need to tell them. You invite 5 to 10 people a day. You do this every day. You can just tell them that there are daily activities within 1 hour time frame. You can explain to them that we invite people to challenge groups, but don't get to like Beachbody jargon, like, we right now want to get them pumped up and excited to join our team. And if they're like, what the heck is like inviting to this? And like they're going to shut down. So this is why, guys, you have to do these sneak peek groups and fail forward, because you're going to be like, okay, that didn't work. And you're going to have to try a million things. You feel overwhelmed with this, Rebecca, or just like coaching in general? And everyone's going to have a different vibe. Like, I'm hardcore. Like, I am looking for business builders. Like, when people join my team as hobby coaches, it's totally cool. And I can help them be hobby coaches. But my passion is with business building coaches. And so I tell people that. I say, I am here to help people do huge, awesome, massive, freedom living travel. Like, those are my people that I'm really looking forward to change and to help, because I've been through it. Right? I'm so excited about it. And so my sneak peek is going to be a little bit more geared towards people who want to travel and be able to get on a plane and RV life if they want, you know? So this is why knowing your story and claiming it, this is why it's day one intro. It's your story. With my face in a sneak peek, that's probably not speaking to your client. Maybe, but I'm kind of my own person. And I don't want to have to mold my sneak peek group for everyone, because then I'm not helping anyone, you know, I'm just helping like the general masses, and I want to help my specific market. So Candace, yeah. And guys, if anyone, like, back to the overwhelmed thing, if you're overwhelmed, it's just a personal growth journey. You're not like I'm not going to say you're not serious about the personal growth journey, but when you get to the point where you're like, I totally get it. I can do anything. I'm unstoppable. Show up every day and just do my best and go for it, rather than like feeling like you're, I'm not really sure if I can do that yet. And this. And if you feel like you're just running into all these walls, it's just a healing journey, a strengthening journey of personal development. That's why it takes time. And I set that expectation of 2-3 years of getting it. And so if most of you haven't even been a coach for a year, you know, think back to the first year or the first month or two. Think what you were doing. Like, how many invites did you do your first month? If you didn't do any, well, it's just going to take time until you get those consistencies down. You can't beat yourself up. You can't expect to not be overwhelmed. It's totally part of it. Is it chill to make a sneak peek into the sneak peek video on my main page? I feel like people are not picking up what I'm laying down. I think you're asking me, is it okay to make a video talking about you're going to be hosting a group? I think is what you're asking. Absolutely. So you can, you know, make a video, and guys, live video is all about the tagline and all what you say. Like, if it says what I'm doing next, like, no one's going to watch that. But if you were like, right now my creative brain is not thinking, I would think of something really clever so that they watch the video, or, you know, something that really stands out about your journey that gets people to watch, like if they want to learn more. And then you can put the link to the event in the comments below. That's a really good way. Sarah, yeah, right. So we're pulling all these skeletons out of the closet, and guys, talk about that. You've got to get vulnerable in your day 1 intro and day 2 and day 3 of, you know what, like I've been a coach for X amount of time, and you have to have that unwavering belief of what coaching has done for you. And I think, Sarah, for you, it's like the most beautiful story of, I had all these things that I had to handle, and you don't have to get specific, but things I wanted to handle and become more of who I was and be happy, be healthy, and just wake up and be awesome. And this has given me the stepping stones to do that. That's the word I've always used. Coaching has given me the stepping stones. You don't have to say coaching has changed my life. Maybe you're not there yet, but what has coaching done for you? People can only meet you where you are. If you don't have a story of, like the income or the big life changes quite yet, what has it done for you? Yeah, Candace is really good at taglines. So write down 3 things. Be like, okay, I'm going to go on and I'm going to talk about these 3 things, like whatever the 3 most important points are. And I want you to rock that. Like in parentheses, you should like say whatever you're going to talk about and then say like, don't mind me today, I have mom brain, or like hashtag mom brain. Like own it, because how many other moms do you think have mom brain, right? Just like have fun with it. Claim that story. If I can tell you guys the beauty in claiming that story. I know you want to show the shiny things. I know you want to make it sound like you're the best coach and everyone needs to join your team. But if you're just you and human and you say, I don't know everything, but I've been here for 6 months and this is what coaching has done for me, it's just going to flow off your tongue. And then you're going to be like punching yourself for not doing this 6 months ago. Teacher brain. Exactly. And so like Rebecca, it's kind of, you're going to be able to show people who have full-time jobs, who have full-time passionate careers. Maybe you have a love-hate relationship with your job or whatever, creating supplemental income. You don't have to throw around that shiny card of quit your job, retire your husband, travel all over the world. I have a private jet. That's for the other companies. We're like real life. This is what we do. Okay. Total tangent on that, but that was an awesome question. So, and just to kind of wrap up day 3, play with it, Day 3 has probably been my biggest struggle since doing this because it's so different for me now. So I tell them that in the beginning, this is what I want you to focus on. And so in the back of your head, you need to help someone hit success starters and have an awesome story. You guys know Carl's binder, right? Carl has that binder of success stories. You guys need to create your own binder of success stories. You have to get clients and customers results before they're ever going to be a successful coach. Because if no one believes in the products in Beachbody, no one's going to be excited to coach. If I didn't do 25, if I didn't do T25, if I didn't have Vanilla Shakeology, I wouldn't believe in it. I wouldn't believe Beachbody if I didn't have those experiences. All right. I could talk forever. Day 4. And Carrie said she has to write everything down. Guys, this beautiful device right here, this smartphone, is everything. Use it. I talk to my phone all the time. I'll be like, write a note that says, and then I just say whatever I need to, or you can record a voice note or the note section. I set reminders. Set a reminder in 2.5 hours to call Kayla. How many times have you guys scheduled calls with me and I didn't call you because I have squirrel brain myself? Like I have to set reminders for myself. So use the note section in your phone. Day 4, how Beachbody changed my life. So you kind of preface a little bit of your story. You want to keep it in that 5 to 10 minute range, depending on how many success stories you're sharing. And you can always ask the team to share their stories. You can always use the coach success stories that are in your video library in the Coach Online office. I don't know if you guys knew those were there, but if you go to the video library, there's a section for success stories from successful coaches, and Beachbody put on this whole production to have, people come to their house and interview them. Chelsea Pearson, Nikki Johnson's my favorite one. If you have moms out there, I need you guys to go watch the Nikki Johnson Success Club story. And you can share that in your group. Okay, so I obviously would do a video for this and show any before and after that you have, but we're really focusing on the internal transformation. I think people get Beachbody confused sometimes because they think Beachbody. It's called Beachbody. They think physical. I could never do that. You've got to focus on the internal. So if coaching has helped you to open up and talk to your, loved ones more about your relationships, or if you have you're able to work out with your kids in your living room, like those are memories and internal like moments that you have. So this is a lot of brain dumping. This is a lot of putting yourself out there on paper. And again, if you don't like the story you have to start recreating it. But this is where you get out of your comfort zone. I was doing the trainings and the calls and the videos so early on in my career, even though they sucked. Guys, I was like reading off a script. It was so bad, but I was willing to start. And a lot of you are so past that point where you need to be doing this. So just trust me and fail forward with it. You can't mess it up. You might have a crappy group, but that doesn't mean that, you mess it up. So I think day 4 is pretty self-explanatory, but wait, I wrote down one thing. So go live, and if you want to have other recorded videos, I usually suggest making no more than 3 posts a day. So my first post is just the image of day 4, my story about how Beachbody changed my life, and then I would do a live video, and then maybe share my transformation later with a little typing, with a little story with it. So what else did I have on there? Okay, so day 5, answer top questions. This you can do in a live video. And then this is where you want to send individual messages and say, hey, what specific questions do you have about anything that I talked about? If you guys even decide to do 5 days, you can do whatever. But you definitely at the end want to ask them questions, and you don't want to just say, okay, who has questions? Because 9 times out of 10, no one has questions and they just stare at you. You want to answer the top questions. For example, again, how much is it to get started? Talk about our team training. Like, what's the support system going to be like? If you want to talk about how we earn income, I suggest keeping it pretty simple. I say there's 2 ways we earn income. The first is we help as many people as we can get started with their total solution, with the challenge pack each month. Our goal is 3 to 5. And I'm always like, you can do that, right? It's not 100 bags of Shakeology. It's help 3 to 5 people with their challenge pack, and that's our goal. That's how you're going to get started as a new coach. Then, as you start to help these clients change their life, a lot of them are going to want to coach. A lot of them are going to see the big life changes. And so the second way we earn money is by helping our team become successful. And that just duplicates over time. So I earn an income based on my team's success. My paychecks right now at this point, 3.5 years in, aren't necessarily about my personal retail sales, but it's how much love and dedication I'm putting into my team. So, and I tell them, don't worry about that so much right now. It took me over a year to start to build a team. I want you to focus on building those success stories and paying this forward to others, because health and fitness, nutrition, meal plan, there's so many people out there looking for a solution right now. They've tried so many things. I was that person and they didn't work. So if you guys need any ideas, I don't recommend talking about pyramid schemes in your sneak peek, but if you need ideas for answering top questions, I have an FAQ section on my personal website. So I'm actually just going to talk about those questions, minus I'm obviously not going to talk about a pyramid scheme. So, because it's such a waste of my breath. Any other questions you guys have? So the how is here. Now it's just, will you do it? Will you fail forward? Will you make a video? Will you go live? And you can pair up, guys. You and your friends can pair up. If there's people like you that are on this team or even not on this team, I'm actually going to be pairing up with Haley and her success partner to do one, because I really vibe with them. Like, we always travel, we talk the same. And so I was like, I want to add some fun to my sneak peek and stuff like that with people who are really just exactly like me. And so I'm going to pair up with new people all the time and try new things. And then you guys can pair up with other people and try new things. So Janelle and
I have a question too.
Oh, yes.
So how do you feel about the coaching groups that do like a prize or something, like, or they try to do incentives for people signing up? Like, what is your take on that?
For signing up or for engaging?
Both, I guess. I've seen both. I've seen people do prizes for engagement, and I've seen people do prizes for whomever signs up, the first 5 get a whatever.
Oh, I've never even heard of that. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's actually a really awesome idea. So,
well, Brittany something, forgot her name. You know her.
Leggett? Power?
No, she lives by you, I think.
Oh, Spain.
Yeah, she did Nikes in one of hers for something. I don't remember. I think it was most engagement or most questions or most something, but I was just curious what you thought about that.
Absolutely. Honestly, I mean, you want to set like your budget. Like for some people, like if you have an extra 3-day refresh lying around at home, like those ones always go. And like I went to TJ Maxx and I got a pillow, essential oil spray, a mug, a notebook, and I think I had a Fixate cookbook. Like less than $20 that cost me. And I mean, if you want to do Nikes, you can do that too. If you have a lot of people, that's so worth it. I
just know for me and my team, we kind of struggle with people engaging because we're all so quiet and we have things to say like way after the fact, after the question's already been asked and the conversation's already been like way had. So I'm just trying to think of more ideas that would be creative for us to get people actually like excited about commenting.
So here's my advice for that. This is kind of all going through my head too. So you want to make sure you ask them a question that they can answer, because they might be timid or like they don't maybe have a question. They're like, I don't even know what the heck I'm listening to right now, right? Some people are just like, And so give them something to answer based on participation. Maybe they can say, maybe you can ask like, what are your top 3 goals for 2017? Or what are your top 3 wishes for your health and fitness journey? Like get them to kind of start to open up a little bit. That has to do with what we do. I mean, if we just started asking like, what's your favorite color? What's your pet's name? Those are kind of random. But if you can tie it into maybe them opening up a little bit, I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Cheryl, she was asking for the signups. So she's talking about, I mean, it could go for either, the most participation, but I think she was asking specifically for the sneak peeks. So yeah, I mean, you guys can do prizes anytime. I like that idea. I'm going to try that on the next one and give away for something.
You know what I was thinking would be fun for prizes is like giving out like a week's worth of Energize. You know how they come in the little tiny packets?
Yeah.
You're giving them something that they can use when they start their program, and they're probably going to order it after that. So it's like a win-win.
Yes. Why aren't you leading this call, Candace? You're coming up with good ideas. I feel brain dead today. Any other questions that you guys have? That's good, Rebecca. And you guys, you know, if you ever have backstock of Shakeology, stop getting a bag and get the packets and give them out for a month, you know? I mean, if you have 3 bags of Shakeology sitting in your cabinet, you're never going to catch up. And I hope you don't have that sitting in your cabinet. But switch to the packets and you guys can do some giveaways. Or if you run a spouse's account and they're also getting Shakeology, do some packets and do some giveaways. Was this helpful? Do you guys think you can rock it? Have some fun? Trust me, guys, I have failed forward with this so many times. I'm still failing forward with it. All right. Well, my in-laws are here, so if you guys are all good, I'm going to go make some dinner. Yeah, Chelsea, you'll rock it. Just have fun with it, you know? And I think about your brand. What do you want your image to be like? Like, have that professional standout. Get excited. Like, I geek out on creating a new group and a new banner, and I don't know about you guys, but that stuff excites me because it's fresh, it's new, and I get to hype it up and share this with people. So
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So you're doing this group based in an event form via your like page, not your personal page, correct?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because it's public, and when I do the live video, it gets broadcasted out. So random people are seeing this video, and they're probably like, what is this? So I've had more people come in and click going. I like how it's public, and it will always be up there. So.
And then it shows people like, so-and-so attended this event at Colleen Curtis or whatever.
You got it. And I mean, I'm personally going towards my like page. I used to do private Facebook groups on my personal page, but now I'm making that transition over. So guys, if you don't have a like page, you're more than welcome to use your personal page, make a group. There's really no difference if you don't have a like page for you in doing that, but that's the direction I'm personally going in. So, Carrie, yes, of course. Yes, Mariah. Well, I mean, I used to run them publicly, like privately, like I was just saying, but this one is publicly on my like page. I want any and everyone that has a question, like I'm an open book, guys. When someone's like, how do you earn money? This is a direct sales business. I just happen to get paid for health and fitness. You cannot be shy around your in-network marketing where you have an opportunity to earn basically endless income. Like you've got to claim it, own it, be proud of it. It's different. It's edgy. That's awesome. I think a lot of people want to live in the employee safe box of, oh, it's different. You've got to thrive in that being different. You've got to get comfortable with that. I'm going to Brendan Burchard in 2 weeks. Oh my God, I'm so excited. If you guys don't know who he is, he's like another Gary Vee. And I'm just so excited because he brings so much energy to the business side of this. And they remind me to claim this and own it because it's changed my life. So,
isn't he coming to Summit?
Brendan Burchard, is he?
I thought he was in New Orleans, unless I'm high. I
don't even know.
I think he is. I think he's the speaker.
Cool. Yeah, I got a free ticket. It's like $1,000 ticket, and I got it for free.
Oh my God! How?
Brad.
Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome. He's the keynote. Yeah, he's the man. And Liz does his high performing academy. So I'm doing the intro to that, and she purchased his like, I won't even say how much, his coaching. So anyone have any suggestions for a fun Shakeology giveaway? I'd have to kind of think on that. But I'm sure we could come up with something fun. Google it, Shakeology giveaway, see what other coaches do. I actually get my ideas from other companies. So it's like Bonnie was saying at the team retreat, if you go to like hashtag giveaway on Instagram and like look at other giveaways, I just really try to do anything fun that I can. To join. No, I don't, Mariah. I don't have anyone sign up under me. I'm typically already talking to someone, so then I invite them and then I go back and talk to them. They don't have to like buy anything to be in the group, but my goal is of course to have them join later.
Basically, this group is purely informational, correct? I mean,
Yep.
That's what we would call it. It's purely an informational group, a way we can like spam people with everything there is about coaching because they want to be a part of it.
Right. And Mariah, I personally, I know there's a lot of people who are like obsessed with this free sign up because they want them to be their customer. And like, once they're in there, I'm not doing that. And there's a couple reasons. First, because of elite points. I want for the customer elite point category, I want new customers because if someone signed up let's say 2 years ago and with a free account and then they buy something this year and they've never bought anything, they might not be considered a new customer. So it's kind of confusing for the system. So personally for me right now, I don't need them to make a free account. If they're going to go to someone else, that's their loss. Okay, one last thing and then I'm going to go. I just need to say this publicly to you guys, and it's kind of like a total side thing, but as far as like we're talking about signups, if someone is on another team and they don't like their coach, like we have to understand that there's a rule in place for they cancel for 6 months unless there's something ethically going on. If their coach has stopped coaching them, you'll have to go through compliance. You'll have to talk to them, but you cannot quit and sign up with someone else unless it's been 6 months. There have been very, very, very one-time specific scenarios that have happened, and it's, again, very specific scenarios, and it's all integrity and ethically based. So just be careful with all of that. I don't handle any of it. It's all through compliance, and it's my name on the line if there's other people joining from other teams. It's happened a few handfuls of times, and it was just like a whole mixed message in my 3.5 years, but it rolls up to me and they're like, hey, are you teaching your team to switch teams? And I'm like, no. So here I am on public record that, who you sign up with is who you sign up with. And that's that. Is a free private group or just a live video? I think we just answered all that. So for you guys, if you don't have a like page, you're going to be making a private group on Facebook. That's the only way you could really do it, unless you're going to build a like page. For me, it's a public event on my like page. So that's the great thing about a business page is you can host an event. You can on your personal page too, but it's different on a like page. So I'm doing it on my like page. So for you, it'll be a private group. You can check out the personal events. I don't know I don't think I've ever done those. And it's this whole outline I just did. So a live video daily. So it's the breakdown of what I was saying. You make a post with the image, you do a live video, and then you can make a post later. So there's 3 things each day. I've done live videos for What is Coaching, and it's like a 45-minute session. And that is also pinned to the top of my like page. So you guys can check that out. I've also, it's on my website, ColleenCurtisFitness.com. I've done other webinars with slides. I love slides because I feel like it explains more. All right, let me stop sharing this. Whoop. I don't know what I just did. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll see you guys later. I'll post the recording and I'll give you guys that image. Bye, guys.